So this is actually segueing pretty decently into our party topic because this shit is all nostalgia.
Yep.
Everything that we've just been talking about.
Uh-huh.
So
I was just thinking that. I was like, I should probably get Carlos should probably transition.
So the whole thing is like, number one, it's a question, right? But we kind of know the answer. Like, do we have too much nostalgia in gaming? And when you say that, just my first couple examples is that Psychonauts 2 just came out. Diablo 2 is coming. Quake just re-released on Game Pass and everything. I mean, we've had the entire Doom series get to Switch. Me personally, I picked up the Final Fantasy 1 Pixel Remaster and Blood Rain 1 and 2 Terminal Cut, which is great because the original versions of the Blood Rain series were shit on Steam, and so somebody came together and redid a whole lot of stuff and actually added some kind of new content that was lost for a long time. Like, what the hell is this whole nostalgia trip? Is it ever going away? Like, we have so many questions and we have maybe a few answers.
Unfortunately, they're the same answers that we had about 20 to 30 years ago, and it's that same thing you recognize. The second expansion, or I guess the first expansion for WoW came out a while ago, like classic WoW, and I didn't play it, and I asked my friend who I used to play with, my friend Stars, who I played Splitgate and Overwatch with. I was like, man, how's Burning Crusade treating you? And he's like, well, it's exactly that game we played. He's like, oh right, it is exactly that game we played, and that's all there is to it. And then we talked about something else. It's just like there's all of this stuff going on where it's just like, you like that thing, right? We're gonna repackage it and sell it back to you. It's either gonna be literally the same unchanged thing, we didn't even throw on a fresh coat of paint, or it is mostly a fresh coat of paint. I mean, with Diablo 2 coming out, and my whole dilemma of like if I wanted to play another Blizzard game, because I don't think I'm gonna play Overwatch 2, but I don't know. I like squad games enough, and Overwatch is a good game. It's just that I don't want to support Blizzard, so it's tough. So anyway, Diablo 2 I was excited for a little bit, but I was talking to Lizzie. I'm like, man, I already played that game. Like, I played that game a lot, and do I really need to play it again? Especially if it costs money. Like, if it's already on my computer, like Game Pass, okay, I could play that. But if I'm gonna pay for this game again and play it for 10 hours and then never play it again, probably. Yeah, I think when we actually started this podcast, it was the episode we had Kate Sanchez on. We asked her the community spotlight question. What's a remaster that you would like? And she was just like, none. Please, no more. I review video games for my job, and I hate playing remasters. Like, give me new games. And I'm now in her camp. Like, before, I said, yes, give me remasters because we just get better versions of what we had before, which is technically true often. But do we need it? We asked if we could, not if we should. I made that quote up. You can quote me.
Yeah, I'm almost certain you did.
Yeah.
We're gonna find a magazine to put that into.
Thank you.
I like that.
Finally, I get some recognition.
We can put it in Nintendo Power.
Oh.
Don't hurt my
Bring
heart.
it back. Somehow G4 is bringing back Nintendo Power.
I know, right? Wouldn't that be great?
Starring The New Day.
Hey,
we started that back.
Yeah, G4 is back. I like to see those guys like on social media.
Yeah.
I've always followed Ron. Well, I've not always followed, but I follow Ron Funches, and when he was the host for the G4 reunion, which was like funny and cringy in an intentional way that I appreciated, I was just like, okay, like I'm picking up what they're laying down, I'm playing what they're making, and that was like a holiday special or something, but I just see him do goofy things and all the TikToks and stuff, and I appreciate that. That is a remaster that I am appreciative of.
The G4 remaster?
That's right.
I love it. Yeah, I don't know. I think it's interesting for me because I'm sort of straddling this line of remasters are good and remasters are bad because I grew up without very a lot of my friends played games, but it was like all Call of Duty and Halo, and that was it.
Hmm.
It's like we shoot things, and that's the only games we play. And some of us play World of Warcraft,
Yeah,
like, and we only play it for 3 months, and then Ethan's the only one left playing it,
classic.
and then, right. So I think of it this way. So like, I'm excited for Diablo 2 remaster because I never played Diablo 2.
Okay, well, good
Uh,
news. It's a fun game.
right,
Pretty
exactly,
fun game. You should play
and
that.
it's almost unanimously the best Diablo.
Oh yeah.
And so I'm kind of excited to try that out. Will I like it? I don't know. Maybe, maybe not. We'll see.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of excited. I get excited about games like that I missed out on because I either A, didn't have a system to play it on,
Hmm.
or, because back when I was a child and couldn't spend my own money on whatever I wanted, I didn't have an Xbox and a PlayStation and a PC and a Switch.
Yeah.
That wasn't a thing. Like I went to my rich friends' houses to play their Xboxes. Like that was how it worked.
Right.
I never got to play Final Fantasy VII until way later when I was able to practically steal a PlayStation from a friend of mine.
Yeah.
And I didn't even get to finish it because I had to give it back.
Yeah.
So like I still haven't even played the Final Fantasy VII remake, but it's on my list.
It's bonkers.
Things like that. So I missed out on so many games. To see some of them come back is really cool. On the other hand, games that I have been playing for 16 years, like World of Warcraft, I see no need
Yeah.
for a remake or a remaster because
See, you're not waiting for World of Warcraft 2, Return of the World of Warcraft.
honestly, if they made like a legit sequel to World of Warcraft, I'd be all over that. But they haven't, and Shadowlands has been disappointing as an expansion, and I haven't played it in 8 months. But other than that, I didn't see a need for when they released WoW Classic. They said for so long, you think you want it, but you don't. And
Yeah.
I truly believed that. I was like, you're right, I don't want this.
Yeah.
And people who want this are insane.
Dude, I played that. I was excited for that, and when it came out, played for a little bit. That's how I met you,
Yep.
actually. And
Yep. That's cool.
I got out of it more or less what I was looking for. I mean, maybe not
Yeah.
the same thing when I went into it. I think I was looking forward to like dungeons and raiding and stuff, and then I realized how long that was gonna take, like how long to even get there, and I was just like, man, I definitely can't donate a whole night to this game, and I can't even level up a character to make that a possibility. I ended up playing
Yeah.
on the auction house and just like playing with the market and stuff. I had a lot of fun doing that. And then I gave all my gold to my friend Ben, who still plays. Uh,
Yeah.
I saved up all my money, and he was like a level 40 shaman, which is like that area of the game is when you start to see epics for the first time. They're like super rare and stuff. So anyway, I saved up all my money and I bought him an epic, which like man, if we did that back when we first played, like in high school, he would have pooped his pants. There's no doubt about it. Like that,
Yeah.
right then and there, he would have. But we were. The funny story of this, I gifted him this axe, and then a couple weeks later, he was trying to like sell or otherwise get rid of an extra bicycle that he had, a bike. And one day they just showed up at our house, and he just brought it in the door, and he said, "This is yours now," because he knew I needed one. And I was just like, "Well, I can't. Like, can I pay? Can I buy this from you or something?" He's like, "You know what? You bought me that axe. Don't worry about it."
Yeah. Real life
I was just like,
transaction.
"Damn.
Fine.
Okay."
So I think you actually broke TOS by that, just so you know.
Oh.
But yeah, so I find it very strange because like there are games that I never got to play that I would really love a remaster so I can comfortably play them now.
Yeah.
Because as we were just talking about, so many features that existed when those games first came out have improved so much, and to add those to a game I appreciate. So a game I would love to see remastered is like the original Baldur's Gate or Baldur's Gate 2.
Okay.
Because those are pretty much universally adored games that were, PC games of their era that I had to download like third-party patches in order to get Baldur's Gate 1 to work on my computer.
Oh, is that right?
Right. Like not even just to have extra stuff. No, I had to find websites on the dark web to make the game that I bought on Steam work on my computer.
Man.
Right. And so in that kind of stuff, I'm like, I would love a remaster. I would love a remaster of the first Witcher game. Because the controls are crap and you can't use a controller
Oh, right.
for it because it's a PC only game. And so stuff like that I would love to see remasters of. But like I said, at the same time, I see where, we're now at our 6th edition of Skyrim.
Yeah, yeah.
Which
That's truly crazy.
So what, they
Probably
upgraded the
buy.
special edition version. If you own that, you automatically get upgraded to the 10th anniversary edition.
Oh, then I don't have to buy it. Sweet.
Right. So, dude, Oblivion was the game to this day that I've bought the most. I ended up buying it on sale. Well, I bought it for Xbox 360. Then I saw it on sale one time on Steam when I just started using Steam. And I was just like, wow, look at this price. I've got to get it. So I did. And then later, like on a Black Friday sale, basically like 6 Bethesda games were on sale. And I'm like, well, I already own like 2 of these, but I'm doing it. So I technically bought it again there. And then there's like 1 or 2 more times. I don't even remember at this point. But, oh, my disc broke, so I had to buy another 360 copy of the game. And I did it too. I love that game.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean that is me with Skyrim. Like honestly, when I bought it when it came out for the 360, in 2011, I bought it for PC when I got my first gaming PC because I was like, ooh, now I can mod it.
Yeah.
And then I bought the special edition because I was like, ooh, it has enhancements and. Yeah, and actually, funny story, I actually don't remember buying the special edition, but I had it in my Steam library, so I must have got drunk and bought it one night.
Wow.
And then I heavily considered buying it for PlayStation when I got a PS4 for the first time, because then it was like, ooh, more updated graphics.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I think I might have bought it for the Switch just to see.
Oh my god.
Because I just wanted to
Wow.
see how it looked on a Switch Lite.
Man, this is a Hard Times article already. It's like, man buys Skyrim for 7th time just to feel something.
Just to feel something, exactly. But no, I was very interested to see, okay, like, how does Skyrim look on a Switch Lite? Not great. I played it for like 30 minutes, and I was like, well, I've played this game 100 times, so there's no need for me to test this any further.
Remaster incoming.
But that's the problem with, and that goes into the nostalgia thing too, is because they're nostalgia-ing all of our nostalgia now that we're adults with excess income.
Right. Because we just keep forking out money for stuff that's already made. Like the IP is already there, they just repackage it, which is smart. I mean, it's look, I get it. It's just maybe. I mean, do I need Kratos in Fortnite? And the answer is yes, I do.
Yes.
I don't even play Fortnite, but you bet I'm gonna buy that thing.
Yeah, well, and they're making the green guy from Fortnite, Master Chief. They're making a whole game about him.
No.
Yeah.
If you are somehow watching this podcast or listening to it and you're like 14, just know that's all for you.
Hey, I'm catering to my audience.
Yeah, you brought us a whole new field to play in here.
And it's funny because I've never played Fortnite once in my life, so I don't even really know what you do in that game. But no, so like
I don't know. It has
think
Thanos in it. I think it's a Marvel game. I wasn't watching.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
And I thought it was a music game because of the Ariana Grande. And
Oh, I thought it was an anime game because I saw the guy, the guy who plays Pickle Rick. I saw him in that game. That really is a wild ride, though. Anytime I see Fortnite, I'm just like, am I watching actual game footage right now? Like, is this?
I thought it was wonky when they added the NFL jerseys.
Yeah.
I
right?
thought that was wild, and I was like,
What?
'cause I saw Patrick Mahomes tweeted like, "I just got killed by a guy in my jersey." Like, what? What the hell? I thought that was wild, and I was like, "Oh, it gets weirder." Okay.
Dude, Fortnite
Uh,
for sure seems like the most obvious like, uh, what's the phrase? There's a phrase that's like, how whatever. I can't even think of the metaphor I'm trying to use right now. But it's like the apocalypse that we're all gonna like smile as it comes to us, right? It's like
oh yeah,
a Black Mirror episode, except this is the one that everyone's happy about. Like everyone
right.
loves this, and it's the end of the world. Like
Yeah.
Fortnite is such a funny thing, and people love Fortnite. I mean, I'm not actually knocking the game, so if you like it, then good for you. I hope you're having fun. But when I watch that game, I'm just like, this is a cultural anomaly. I don't really know what's happening. I'm nervous.
Yep.
I honestly I get in there. I like even watching a stream, and I'm just like, I think I need an adult, like and more of an adult. Like
No,
somebody
I think
needs
I need
to...
like a 10-year-old kid to explain this to me. That's what I need.
That's true.
Because I recently, like within the last 3 years, has started getting into like the whole esports scene. Of course, Fortnite's huge on that. They have big tournaments.
What?
The biggest streamers in the world are Fortnite streamers, practically, or started that way.
Interesting. Hold on.
And so I
Fortnite
didn't know
gamers.
what.
Sorry, I'm taking
Yeah, I know,
notes.
right?
I'm trying to.
Got some homework. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna look that up. I see if I can get ahead of the
right.
curve on that one.
Yeah. Good luck.
Thank you.
But so it's funny going to these esports events that I've been to just here in the Kansas City area and seeing like these 35, 40-year-old dads with their 10-year-old kids
Mhm.
at an esports event, and their 10-year-old kids are just like murking people in Fortnite. And
Yeah.
seeing the dad who's only a little bit older than me, like, yeah, son, that's great. Yeah, okay, cool, good job. And I'm like, are you kidding me?
You got a
Do you know how
prodigy here.
excited? Do you know how excited I would have been at 10 years old if my dad was like, all right, let's go to an esports tournament? Like, geez, Louise.
Right.
Like, come on, spend some time with your children and look like you enjoy it. Good God.
Okay, so on this whole nostalgia trip thing, because we've mentioned a shit ton of games, a lot of them Western RPGs, but we obviously didn't get into Nintendo. There's still issues with us not having Virtual Console on the Switch and all this stuff. I mean, there's almost 100 million Switches out there just in the U.S. alone.
Man, that sounds like a number you made up, but it's probably accurate, right?
It's pretty
I'm not gonna
goddamn
debate
accurate.
him.
The last numbers that I saw was at 89 mil, and I think that was 3 weeks ago, something like that.
Wow. All right,
So,
chat.
yeah.
If you guys could get in there, if we could just bump that up over 100 million, that'd be great.
Just
Yeah.
real quick.
Yeah, if we could
The
do
last
that before the
podcast.
end of the podcast,
Yeah.
it'd be a good
I
milestone.
don't want Carlos to be a liar. Yeah.
Oh yeah. So obviously Skyrim coming back again. There has not been a limit yet, and especially with things like the pixel remaster of the first 6 Final Fantasies, which we didn't even really get versions of a couple of those. Those have been, people have wanted those for fucking ever. Obviously there are still plenty of other things that we'd like to see again, but like, speaking of getting old and feeling all these different things and talking about them fucking kids and their video games,
These kids.
Hey, we don't say that word in this household. This is a Christian Minecraft server.
Yeah, this is a Christian Minecraft server.
what are we gonna do in 15 years when Horizon what is it, Frontier, whatever, Forbidden West, goddamn,
There we go.
when Forbidden West is a classic,
We're gonna remaster Fortnite.
Yeah.
oh my god.
Dude, I feel like the remasters are just going to keep coming because, like, the idea, people joke about it, but the idea of, like, retirement homes being filled with people playing, like, whatever version of World of Warcraft is out, or D&D, that sounds pretty cool. And that makes, like, being at that point of my life, like, if I really couldn't do anything else, that sounds pretty cool. Like, if that's the, like, bad alternative, you know what? Yeah, I could play some video
Take
games
I'll
with
take
some
it.
people. Yeah, so I like that idea. I really do feel like our generation, like millennials, just specifically love nostalgia. And I say that like that's an obvious statement, but people who are younger than us, like kids, and then also like people who are older than us, they don't seem to have that. Like maybe 80s kids, but that's even close to us. But the type of nostalgia we have for video games seems unlike the types of nostalgia I've seen in other generations for anything other than like music or like specific films. Our generation just
Designers or something.
yeah. Our generation just like loves nostalgia, and I feel like we're not gonna outgrow that. I think that's something that we're just gonna carry with us until we're 100, and we'll still be playing a lot of the same things. But honestly, like 20 years from now, I imagine that I probably won't care about a backlog. Like wherever I am in my life at that point, I probably will just play whatever I feel like and not worry about like trying to play the new hotness or the Skyrim 30-year edition. Maybe I'd play that actually.
I would play that.
But yeah, I think people would just be playing a lot of the same stuff they are literally playing today, and I think a lot of people would love that, and I think the business would support that. I think that we're gonna see about this much nostalgia for at least another decade, until our generation gets old enough to like stop spending money on thing we've already bought 9 times. Like we're driving to Costco to get the best price on gas, but then we're buying our 12th edition of Skyrim. Like at some point we're gonna wisen up, but I think the nostalgia part is gonna stick around.
It's when we're only drinking like vitamin shakes, and that's our entire meal sustenance. Yeah.
Fortnite, the pill.
God damn it. I sort of disagree with you on that, Thomas. I think that previous and future generations are exactly the same amount of nostalgic. They're just nostalgic about different things because video games didn't exist.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like when you say music and film, well that was entertainment. Music, film, TV, that's what you had. And they are just as nostalgic for that stuff. Think of how many vinyl remasters there have been for records. I
mean, shoot, I was excited when Pink Floyd came to Spotify finally. It's like
right, re-released, Blu-ray movies from the 50s, like that kind of stuff is still happening, and it's not just video games.
This past week in Discord, I've spent a lot of time listening to this radio robot we have, and the station I've been leaving it on is the golden age of radio. So it's like actual radio shows from the 30s, 40s, and 50s, including the commercials, because the way that sponsorships worked back then, like the ad is like basically in the show, like it's part of the plot of the audio drama. But that's pure nostalgia. But that's funny because it's from a time I never,
exactly
never lived in.
And like so that stuff's happening and always has happened and always I think will happen, and it's just where the mediums are transitioning to. So like I can see in 30 years someone's gonna sell the best of or Ninja's top clips in a video compilation that you can buy for 2 easy installments of $19.95. You just have to dial the 800 number and that kind of thing. And so it's going to transition. It's not just video games. It's going to be like streaming, and it's going to be like these things are going to be uploaded onto Netflix or Hulu or whatever services we're using in 30 years. And people are going to be like, oh yeah, I used to watch that Ninja guy all the time. Like, I'll boot that up and watch all of his best clips that have been for free on YouTube for 30 years.
That still feels weird thinking about that, though. Like, whatever the next, like, disc alternative is, whether that's, like, the terabyte disc or whatever, and we're just like, oh, shit, yeah, let's watch these highlights. It's like, wait, you didn't stream those 20 fucking years ago? It's like, oh, no, I did. I absolutely
watch
did.
Them again, but... Just like I, want to watch Star Wars again. Just like I want to watch
these plastic cases with highlights. Oh,
it's gonna, I don't know about that specifically, but that's what it's gonna turn into. Every form of media has this sense of nostalgia, and every generation after us is going to have that same thing. because like they say, people's music tastes don't change after the age of like 16. And I know that's obviously not true for everyone, Thomas.
That's
But
me.
most people, it is. I still listen to the same fucking bands I did when I was 16. They've released new music, which is great. But I'm still popping in the same, streaming the
Yeah.
same music I was listening to when I was in high school.
Occasionally, a Linkin Park song will come up, and I'll just be like, "Okay, here we go. This is my day."
Yep. I'm 14 again. Here we go.
Yep. What the hell is the internet even gonna look like 30 years from now?
That's the fun part, is we have no idea. And as these things evolve, we're going to keep, like I said, we're going to keep seeing that. We're going to keep seeing this dipping into nostalgia from our childhoods by our quote unquote children. Even if we three of us don't have kids, but you know what I mean. Like our friends' kids are going to find the stuff we were into.
Our friends' kids are going to grow up and they're going to be super great.
Right. Especially us, where we have this online presence. So, like, our friends' kids 30 years from now can literally find the stuff we're into, just by scrolling through, like, oh, I wonder what, Nerdmeat was doing in 2021. Never mind.
Don't look in that spot. Nope.
Yeah, right.
Right.
Oh, let's check Twitch memories or TikTok
exactly.
look back or something.
Yeah, and because, assuming that stuff sticks around, which I don't know if it will, but I mean, Facebook's been around for long enough, could be around forever. We'll see.
Yeah.
As these things become institutions in our lives, it's just gonna, keep that nostalgia alive. Every year when you have the same Facebook memory pop up and you post it every year,
yeah,
like that just sticks with you.
I mean, sometimes the joke's so good you just gotta keep telling it.
It's true, especially if I wrote it.
I have there's one thing that pops up every year. It's one of the times I ate cashews by accident. I have a very serious nut allergy, and I ate cashews by accident because I didn't realize I was eating cashew chicken, and I saw what I was eating, but I'd never seen a cashew like soft and light colored like the chicken I was eating, and so I ended up eating it. And I tell you what, having that allergic reaction from the inside out. Not fun. Uncomfortable. 0 out of 10 would not do again. But I made a big Facebook post and I was just like, hey, don't be like the people when I was growing up who would like see the permission slip for the field trip and it said, please don't bring, peanut butter because you'll kill somebody. And they were like, oh, but that's not my kid. And then they sent their kid to school with the peanut butter jelly sandwich anyway. Yeah, I make that post every year because please, like if you're a parent and you have kids going to school, please, when it says somebody has an allergy, just please follow it because it makes that kid's life like fucking. I had to sit in the corner of the cafeteria for every year of my elementary school. I had the most corner seat in the whole cafeteria was mine and mine only, and I had no other options because people just couldn't not have peanuts. And I get it; it's hard, but like,
but it ain't my kid.
Man, that was rough, dude. And the older I got, I understand.
Someone else's kid dies. What?
My mom used to get pissed at that stuff, and when I was a kid, I was just like,
how do
I'm fine.
you feel about it? How do you feel about it now, seeing how we've reacted to COVID?
If you put a face, because it's my blown up ass face, swollen, looking terrible, like I'm the same color as my red shirt. If you can at least put a face on that, people are so much more likely to care about it. But yeah, COVID, I worked with the guy today that said he didn't believe in COVID. And he showed up to work the past 2 days with a sore throat and didn't tell anyone. So that's fun.
Nice.
I'm less worried about actually getting COVID. I'm just fucking mad that he had the audacity to have all of those opinions in the same human. Like, even just the one with the sore throat is enough to be like, dude, you're literally wearing the mask on your chin. Can you just put it like you're sick? What are you doing?
Yeah.
So I don't know. Don't rub my face in peanuts, but that's all I'm asking.
So we got real nostalgic there. So anybody in chat, let us know if you also have a peanut allergy.
Lol.
We also know the second likely cause of death for Thomas. Number 1 being milk crate challenge. Number 2 being exposure to peanuts.
If
Number 3 being exposure to COVID.
I tell you what, if they remastered Peanuts and came out with Peanuts 2 that I wasn't allergic to, I'd check them out.
Allergen-free edition? Yeah.
That's right, yeah. Or maybe it's just a DLC for the existing titles.
I mean, you're definitely paying extra, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not a free update.
No.
So we went over a whole lot of stuff there with our topic, and we could definitely talk nostalgia forever. But I did want to go over a couple things from Gamescom if you guys wanted to comment on some of that stuff.
I tell
I've
you
got
what,
nowhere else to be.
I do
Yeah.
have somewhere else to be. I gotta go to the bathroom real quick. But you should start without me.
Oh my-
So just
Yes.
go. All right.
Okay.
Alright. So yeah, Gamescom happened all week. Today we had the Future Game Show, which was just like before I got off work, so I didn't get to see it. But for the week, we have a few different things that were announced and shown. Very first thing that stood out to me was the freaking Marvel Midnight Suns. Like,
Yeah, dude, I spent
What?
so much time watching that trailer that they showed because I was watching it live on the Twitch while I was working, and I spent so much time watching that trailer trying to figure out what the hell it was. 'Cause
yeah,
I was like, okay, Marvel, cool, man. I like Marvel. All right. Maybe it's like an Avengers expansion announcement or something because that game flopped so hard. Maybe they're trying to salvage it or something. Maybe it's a remaster. And then I saw Wolverine and I was like, okay, that's not Avengers. I was like,
And then they're
Ultimate
like,
Alliance
oh.
4, maybe? Like something like that. And then it kept going. And I was like, what the hell's a Midnight Suns or whatever it was? And I was like, I don't know what this is anymore. I give up.
for anybody interested in it, yes, it's gonna be good. It's an XCOM game.
But they said it's not quite like XCOM. Look, I just can't.
but I mean,
I
it's
just
the same
can't wait
people.
to be playing as Wolverine, have a 99% chance to hit with my claws and miss. Like,
Yeah, no, that absolutely has to happen at some point.
right? Like, it's just got to be. Yeah, I'm excited because XCOM and XCOM 2 were great games. Not for everybody just because of the style of games they are. But I enjoyed them. XCOM 1 I was pretty terrible at, but XCOM 2 I played all the way through. And so I'm interested to see how that studio is able to sort of take this Marvel title and do their thing with it.
Mhm. And somehow they're gonna make it go to, I think, every possible system and PC. So somehow gonna fit it onto the Switch. I doubt it'll look very good, but I cannot wait to see more. And there is going to be a gameplay reveal on September 1st, just FYI.
Nice.
So yeah, we don't have long to wait to see what we're
That's
actually in
awesome.
for.
I'm excited to see that.
Hell
'Cause
yeah.
I always liked. I mean, I haven't played like Ultimate Alliance since like maybe 2. I think is the last one I played. But I liked that game a lot, and that was sort of a strategery style game as well. So I'm kind of interested that they decided to go a completely new property with
Mhm.
this Marvel title instead of, just kind of tagging on like, hey, you guys like Ultimate Alliance? This is like the same thing but different. I really sort of expected that, but I mean, I'm willing to try anything.
Oh,
Yeah, I
are
feel
you
like
nerds
they
talking about
went with that like very specifically because I think that they were like, you know what, we can't lose with these guys doing a strategy game. So if we're going to take this to all these other levels in the future, because you know that they're going to disseminate this to literally every kind of genre they can. So I think I think that's what the plan was. I think they had decent sales of Ultimate Alliance 3, which is really fun if you haven't tried it, but it's absolutely necessary co-op. You have to, because you don't want to be switching between 4 characters all by yourself.
All right.
Um,
Challenge
5 years from
accepted.
now, do you think it's shorter or longer than 5 years we get a Marvel MOBA? Yeah, Pokemon did
oh,
it.
absolutely shorter.
Shorter.
Yeah, there didn't they also mention another mobile game at Gamescom that was Marvel? I'm pretty sure they did.
It, I think it would depend what kind of studios they would get on it. Because, MOBAs aren't exactly easy to create where you're not literally just copy pasting League of Legends. And I think more gaming companies have realized that that's not necessarily the winning formula anymore. If you want to attract players to your MOBA, you need to add something to it other than interesting characters.
Hmm.
Pokemon Unite changed the scoring system. It's not your typical, how you win a MOBA, things like that. So I think I'd be interested to see if they did decide to go that route and make a Marvel MOBA, what studio they go to for it. Just kidding, it would probably be Tencent.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
absolutely would. Disney's not putting any money anywhere else.
Yeah,
Um,
exactly.
And then we also got the Saints Row reboot, which was rumored all week before it happened. But hey, that cinematic trailer was pretty cool.
I enjoyed that as well. I never played the Saints Row games, but I probably end up picking that one up.
And we don't have long to wait. It's only 4 months out somehow.
Well,
Okay, so that's another thing I liked about some of the Gamescom announcements is, one of the things that happens a lot in games is we announce a game's and don't tell you when, and then we sit on it for 6 years, and then we release it, say we're going to release it, and then we delay it, and then, I like this waiting till it's almost done to even tell you it exists.
yes.
I
am
wish more
fully on
companies
board.
would do that.
Yeah.
Like I think, developing hype is important for marketing, but developing hype over a decade is excessive.
Cyberpunk and Project Red.
Yeah.
Right. And then you just you set yourself up for disappointment when you do that. So yeah, I like this idea of we're only having, a shorter amount of time. And yes, could it get delayed? Possibly. Like there's still enough time for that to happen. But it's less likely, and the game is more likely to be finished when it releases, unlike Halo Infinite.
Yeah. Yeah. It's hard when
True.
didn't like the director of Halo leave during that?
Yeah.
3, 4,
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
that's rough. But yeah, I cannot agree with you more. I love hype. I just love being excited about stuff. But bruh, it's tiresome to just be like
Yeah.
to like have a game that you know you're excited for, but to intentionally not look at any updates because you're tired of seeing updates and not releases.
Yeah. And I mean, I think some of the onus on that is on the consumer too. Because, like, let's take BioWare, for example. I said, hey, we're working on another Mass Effect game. That's it.
Yeah.
And I think that's perfect. Like, hey, we're working on one. Look forward to it.
Yeah.
Not, hey, we're gonna have one by March of 2024.
And here's
And
a
it's
mock-up
like,
of what we think it could look like, maybe.
right. And it's like, no, shut up. Just yeah, we know you like Mass Effect. Another one's on the way. We'll update you when we have something worth updating you about.
Yeah.
And I don't think, and I wish I could remember. There was one game I remember just an absolutely stellar trailer for, or one I just thought of. It's not the one I was thinking of. What was it? Star Wars. One that was canceled. That was supposed to be like the
1313?
criminal. Yes, that
Yeah.
one. Amazing trailer they showed for it, and then the game's canceled.
Yeah. So we actually just had an episode about canceled games, and we brought that one up. Fortunately,
Yep.
it turned into basically Jedi Fallen Order. Even though that's a very different game, a lot of those resources shifted over, so they weren't totally lost. But it was such a cool idea, and the stuff they showed, it was like, this looks like a game. Like, this doesn't look like something that's an alpha. Like, this looks like you're ready to push it out, whatever this is. And then it totally
Yep.
canceled. I was so excited,
It's sort of like out of nowhere because everyone had kind of forgotten about it. I mean,
Yeah.
it wasn't like something that was constantly talked about. People were like, "Oh yeah, they showed that 1313 game a while back. I'm interested to see that." And then just was like, "Oh, by the way, we stopped that.
Yeah.
Sorry."
Party's over.
Anyway, so Saints Row, we like the trailer. Short window. It's less disappointing if the game isn't amazing. We'll be like, oh, if it's good, and we're like, cool, all right, nice, and then we move on.
Yeah.
But if we had been waiting and they had said, oh yeah, new Saints Row coming out, and they told us this in 2017, and the game is only good,
Yeah.
we'd be pissed.
Yeah.
And
Oh, yeah.
so, it's on us and the studios to try and manage these expectations of,
Oh,
yes, here's a game, it's coming out, we've been working on it. Here you go.
what was the game? I can't remember if it was a movie, The Last Guardian, or if it was a video game. What was
Oh,
it?
it was a game.
Okay, so they made either the video game version or they made a remake. I can't remember because I didn't have a PlayStation when I was younger. I feel like it was a PlayStation game.
It was supposed to be a PS2 game,
Okay, so they come out with
and it ended
this.
up being a PS4 game.
Oh my, wow! I didn't realize that's how that happens.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah. It was in
Yikes.
development right after Eco, and
wow.
then
It took so
everybody was
long.
hyped as
I
hell.
thought it was a remaster
Yeah.
of itself. That's not good.
Oh man, you were
Yeah.
nostalgic for that game and you didn't even know it.
Yeah. Wow, maybe that's the marketing play. Is you're like,
Like,
hey, we
I'm-
remastered this game. We remastered the beta of this game, and we're gonna release it as 1.0.
I'm not even kidding. I think it had 3 or 4 covers on gaming magazines before it released over like a 10 or 12 year span.
So,
It was crazy.
and then with managing expectations, that game came out and it was okay by all accounts.
Yeah.
Like it was a video game. It's just like, oh man, that game sure came out.
Right?
Yep.
Uh,
I don't even know. I've never even heard of this game.
That's
how
you
good they did.
platform and you're writing something that looks like
It's the dog
flying
griffin
dog
thing.
from Neverending Story, sort
Yeah.
of.
Oh yeah, okay, I did see that one. I do remember that now.
Yeah.
Huh.
But it's like Iron Man 2. It's just like I remember that, but I couldn't tell you anything about it.
Yep. Fair.
It had characters that I recognized, but I couldn't tell you what they did.
All right. Yeah.
So, more Gamescom news. Not a whole lot, but we did get a release date. A delay, mostly release date of February 18th, 2022 for Horizon Forbidden West, which I called a long time ago that it would be a 2022 game.
Mm-hmm.
Not disappointed, but everybody that wants it might actually have a PS5 at that time. So yeah.
Maybe.
Well, and that's the other thing too is especially for games coming out this year and next year is how much of an impact COVID had on those studios.
Yeah.
Because some studios had infrastructure in place that could handle many people working remotely, and like a lot of people seem to think that like, oh well, everything you do is on a computer, so you can work remote. Okay, yes, technically correct, but a lot of times the infrastructure isn't there, especially for smaller studios that are like, being overshadowed by a large publisher. Like maybe the team itself working on this one game isn't actually that big and doesn't have a ton of resources. So you kind of have to think about that kind of stuff when these delays happen in these next couple of years.
Yeah.
For sure.
But
maybe
Horizon's gonna be lit.
maybe like the nice thing now is that we have all these remasters to get us through the next couple of years.
Exactly. It's so much easier to remaster a game.
And re-releases. I mean, seriously, if I'm content right now with Oblivion, I mean, I'll be done with that by like 2027, and I think maybe the effects of COVID will have worn off by then.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I won't hold my breath.
Yeah. Well,
Right. And then
What else did
we
get, Carlos?
we also got a campaign reveal, a quote unquote gameplay demo. I'll just say that of Call of Duty Vanguard, which I would not normally be excited for, and of course with Activision, fuck them. But Vanguard was very cool, and they had Laura Bailey come on stage with Jeff Keighley and talk about Polina, the main character, or was it main character, or was it one of the main characters?
One of the main characters is how I understood it.
Yeah, I think it was this particular mission was hers specifically.
Mhm.
It was really cool, but again, it being a Call of Duty title, it very much didn't seem like an actual gameplay demo. It seemed like a very guided cutscene sort of.
Yeah, it very much struck me as like an intro mission where
Mhm.
you don't actually have much agency,
Exactly.
but you just walk along the predetermined path and shoot the predetermined Nazis and in a predetermined order with a predetermined gun.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like, okay, cool, I guess. Well, good thing you got Laura Bailey,
Yeah.
because that was the only part of that entire presentation I gave a shit about.
She redeemed a good bit of it. I did actually want to mention one last thing from Gamescom, just because we got to get it out there that Cult of the Lamb is
Oh
the
my
next
God.
great game.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I don't know anything about
so I was watching Gamescom on another streamer's channel because he was like co-streaming it.
Hmm.
And then right when that trailer started, it went to commercial break,
Oh.
and I'm like, "Are you kidding me?" Well, it's like it was like an 8 ad commercial break, so I was like, "I guess I'll go take a piss."
Yeah.
And then by the time I came back, I think I missed like a whole other game trailer too,
Oh no.
and I was like, "Are you kidding me?"
You come back and they're like, well, I hope everyone redeemed their free code that they can only
Right.
use in the next 10 seconds.
Yeah, that's how I felt. I don't think that was the case. But what I did see of Cult of the Lamb looked freaking hilarious.
Yeah. So Thomas, did you miss it?
I've been so busy this week that once I get off work, all I can do is like put food and water in my body and watch Love, Death, and Robots and fall asleep.
Gotcha.
It's a wild life, I can tell you. No, so I really missed basically all of Gamescom. The only thing I saw was the X-Men. No, the Marvel tactical game from the XCOM shooter or XCOM creators. That looks cool. I think that's what you're talking about at the
Yep.
beginning.
Yeah.
So, but that's all I know other than what you've told me.
Okay. So just to fill you in, like we're filling in chat here. So Cult of the Lamb, it is the next big Devolver game.
Okay.
So developed by Massive Monster, and let me see, they did Never Give Up, which some people know. But okay, Cult of the Lamb is a dungeon crawler roguelike that has incredibly cute art. If you're familiar with like Alien Hominid and like Battle Block Theater, the guys at the Behemoth, it has a very similar feel to me as far as the animation style, but it's this incredibly cute lamb that you play as, and it is up to you because of some evil force that starts to take control of you. You get to build a community of little woodland critters that decide to worship you in a very cultish way. You are literally growing a village of these adorable ass creatures
Wow,
to
this is
worship you
crazy.
and spread some straight up evil.
Man, Devolver, I love you guys. I like
Yeah.
everything they touch.
So
This looks
if
dope.
someone on the podcast was kind of an idiot, what other games did Devolver do?
Oh boy.
Man, yeah, actually, I'll have to look this up.
So
Highlights.
They
Highlights.
Yeah.
Hotline
So
Miami is
Deathcore.
the very first one that I ever got into. Like, I started listening to the soundtrack because it bops, and a bunch of friends talked about it. Devolver's games across all of them always have really good sound. I liked a game called Mother Russia Bleeds. That's like a beat 'em up. It's not that popular, but boy, I sure love that game.
Yeah, so a lot of the best stuff that you've heard of over the past 3 years: Death's Door, Enter the Gungeon, Loop Hero, Carry On, Katana Zero, Broforce,
Oh, damn. Okay. All right.
Gris.
I have played 0 of those games, but I've heard of some of them.
Like there's so many.
Carrion, which we just
in the
played the other
past-
day. That game was dope.
Yeah, just in the past 2 years, I've played so many of them. Reigns, the card game,
Oh,
Talos
Heave-Ho,
Principle, yeah, Hifo,
Ape Out.
Downwell.
Oh, dude, Downwell. I bought that game like 3 times. Yeah, a whole bunch of stuff. Like they're my favorite publisher. One of the only gaming companies I really like as much as I like Devolver is Supergiant Games, who made Hades and Bastion and all that stuff. They're great, and they seem like a great company. Like not just the games that their name is on, but as a company, like as a place to work for, they seem pretty rad. Like they seem to represent a lot of the things that exist in the gaming world that I want, to be successful. They're dope. Also, actually, if you really don't know Devolver, I will put a link in chat. You should watch their E3. Well, their not E3 presentation. It was my favorite part of the E3 weekend. It is so much fun, and you have to watch it from start to finish. Like it doesn't matter what's in it, just watch it. And Ethan,
Okay.
you're for real going to like that.
Okay.
Even if you do last year's and this year's, they technically have
I
some
forgot.
story connections.
Yeah. I can't even remember. I think I only saw half of the first one. I should go back and watch it. It's like a presentation. Like they put together this thing that like Devolver Digital is almost like a meta games company because they reference the fact that they are marketing. They just do a bunch of weird, clever stuff that like if you are a creative and you're funny or you're good at like improv or something. This seems like the game company that you would want to work for because they just take all sorts of risks and they almost always pay off. They're pretty rad. So yeah, I'll link that video in chat because really everybody should watch it.
I'll check that out
But
later.
yeah, Devolver is cool. So Carlos, so you're saying Cult of the Lamb is by them? That's exciting.
Yeah.
Oh, Devolver made Swords of Ditto as well. That's one that Lizzie and I like.
It's an endless list of games that they've published that are amazing.
It's funny because
definitely
like
will
I,
have to
like
do
I
a
said,
podcast
I've
on
never
them.
I've never played any of those games, but when I saw the Cult of the Lamb trailer start, and it's like Devolver, I was like, I've heard of them. I wonder what they've done.
Only everything.
Carlos is a lot more into like the games industry of like day-to-day news, but also like I'm the kind of guy who will tell you an actor because I know what his face looks like, but I have no idea what his name is, even though I've seen him in 12 movies. It's a problem I have. The same goes for game companies. I can almost never remember who makes stuff except for Devolver and Supergiant.
That's the exception.
Like if the person making this isn't from those two companies, I'm just like, who knows? Could be a small indie. Like Microsoft, I don't know. Have you guys heard of them?
Never. No.
I heard Amazon is into making games these days.
Oh no.
World, let's go.
Yeah, there actually I saw a trailer yesterday. Mortisosaurus linked that in our Facebook group. Cinematics are fun, you know. I'm still gonna probably tune into that to New World on Twitch because I enjoyed what I watched of that. We talked about it in a previous podcast, but I really liked the last day of the beta where I watched Mortis doing a bunch of stuff because I went from watching one stream. A guy on my feed who had like 50 viewers, and he was talking about like the intricacies of the different weapon customization. And then I switch over to Mortis's stream, and it's a bunch of naked people crawling on the ground and casting spells. And he's just like,
Yup.
"What is this? I'm doing it too."
Yup.
And I'm like, man, I love both sides of this.
You said that's the type of MMO player I am, because I'm not smart enough to do the other thing that other guy was doing. I'm not. Nope.
Same.
Can't do it.
Well, yeah. Well, let's see. You guys have listened to me ramble for long enough. Carlos, do you have
Yep.
anything left for the party topic before I start blasting stuff?
No, I'm all good on that. Although I will say that there was like a kind of announcement that didn't really have a whole lot of details, but I guess Humble Games are potentially going to bring all their stuff to Game Pass, hopefully. They are putting out 10 titles onto Game Pass day one. So I think Dodgeball Academia was the first of those 10. So Jerp's been playing that on Twitch lately. Mm-hmm. If anybody's interested in watching Dodgeball Academia, it's a pretty fun game. So Humble Games is another publisher that is getting a little bit better at getting out there, and Game Pass is definitely the way to do it. So I look forward to seeing that stuff come out day one on Game Pass.
I discovered a lot of fun games from Humble Bundles. So I'm really glad that they kind of started really getting into the development and publishing process a little bit more.
But other than that, yeah, let's figure out who to raid, and we can close this up however you'd like.
I tell you what, actually, while I shout stuff out, Nerdmeat, if you have anybody that you would like to raid, if not, no pressure.
Ooh.
I can definitely
Who's online?
I can find somebody.
Let's find out who's online. Let me just pull up a good winder here. Let's see.
Well, while you figure that out,
Okay, I got one. But
okay.
go ahead.
Well, go check us out at our website is partyinvite.games. We are active on Discord. We're active on Facebook and Twitter. Technically, we have an Instagram. I don't know. Hopefully, I mean, who knows? Maybe I'll use TikTok someday. That sounds crazy. I'll do the milk crate challenge as our first TikTok. It's gonna be great.
Do it.
First and only.
First and only. You can find all sorts of people to group up with. You can promote your stream. You can do all sorts of stuff on our platforms. On Discord, I'm on there playing a whole bunch of stuff. That's how I ended up playing Splitgate with Hyper, because we just threw together a game, kind of impromptu. Lots of things to play. You can listen to dumb music like the golden age of radio with me. Listen to Sherlock Holmes on the radio.
Nope.
Wow, I'm living wild in 2021.